Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's defense begins on Thursday, the 23rd of October. Now, these are the things to expect on that day, but have it at the back of your mind that Omotosho did not strike any charge out of the 7-count charges that Nnamdi Kanu is facing in the court. So it is expected that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be defending the 7-count charge, all of them. And of course, the trial is expected to come to an end on the 30th of October. So these are 5 points to expect on that day. Number 1, opening of defense against each of the 7 charges. Kanu is facing 7 amended counts under Nigeria's Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, and each of these charges are: 1, operating a proscribed group, IPOB; 2, inciting violence through radio broadcasts and social media; 3, treasonable felony and calls for secession; 4, alleged importation of radio transmitter; 5, incitement to attack security personnel; 6, membership of a terrorist organization; and the 7th count charge is conspiracy to commit terrorism. Now, the legal team will be defending the charge by charge, one by one, of all the 7, showing lack of direct evidence, absence of intent, or procedural breaches by the prosecution. So number 2 of what to expect also is the defense may move to dismiss weak charges among these 7. The defense may move to dismiss weak charges among the 7. Expect that Kanu's lawyers would, 1, argue that some counts duplicate each other. For example, incitement versus terrorism. And also, they will possibly seek dismissal of certain charges for no prima facie case, since the prosecution witnesses have already concluded. Now, if successful, the courts could strike out some charges and some counts even before the evidence begins. And number 3 of what to expect on the day of court is the presentation of first defense witness, DW1. The defense may call its first witness, possibly a technical or a broadcast expert, to testify that his broadcasts were misinterpreted or altered. Or 2, a security or legal analyst to argue that IPOB's activities don't meet the legal definition of terrorism. If Kanu himself chooses to testify, this could also happen either that day or later in the 6-day defense window. Number 4 of what is expected on that day is cross-examination and objections expected. Federal prosecutors, led by the prosecution lawyer, will likely object to 1, admissibility of documents, expert reports, or recordings that the defense brings. Also, they might object to attempts to shift responsibility from Kanu to unnamed followers. Expect intense exchanges over the interpretation of Kanu's speeches, and social media posts cited in the charges. So expect a robust debate by the prosecution. They will not just come there and fold their arms while the defense are doing their defending. They will also like to object 1 or 2 times. It's very, very expected. And number 5, possible adjournment for further witnesses or ruling. If the first day runs long or arguments get technical, the judge may 1, adjourn within the 6-day defense window; 2, rule on preliminary motions, which is he may dismiss some counts; and 3, he fixed the next day for continuation of witnesses. It's possible that this 1 week is going to run concurrently, day after day after day, until the 7th day, reaches, because we are expecting a very, very speedy, court sessions this last week of the month, because as promised by the court that said that this case must come to an end very soon, and is given, to the 30th of October for the defense to do their defending. And we expect, of course, these 7 days to be one of bumper package. Definitely the defense lawyers, I know that they are ready, because all this while we have not heard from them. Perhaps they have been doing their research. Perhaps they have been doing their background checking, gathering witnesses, gathering evidences here and here, because they have no other choice but to finish the job that they have started. And let us see the type of judgment that Omotosho will give. So we are waiting for 23rd to arrive as we keep on preaching the gospel to release Nnamdi Kanu, a man that is whiter than white, purer than pure gold, a man that can never hurt a fly, that only cares about his people. This man was sent by God to defend his people and to lead his people to the promised land. And of course, the enemies are there trying to paint him black, paint him blue, because paint him like somebody who is the most wicked man on the earth, of which we know where those people who are called wicked, we know where they are located in the country. But he is the one who is facing the consequences of all the actions, because he has been abandoned by the leaders of Ndigbo, who see him as a threat and somebody who is likely to usurp their authority, in the southeast. And there's an inborn hatred on him that definitely should not be in the first place, because Nnamdi Kanu's wish is that the average Igbo man will be treated with respect. That the average Igbo man will be respected wherever he puts his leg in the country. That the Igbo man will have his due in Nigeria and will not be treated like a third-class citizen. Because as it stands now, even the lives of animals, cows, is even higher than that of Ndigbo in Nigeria. And there is no respect, there is no regard for the lives of Igbos. And we are calling upon the federal government immediately to open the doors and set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free, because Nnamdi Kanu has done nothing wrong. He has done nothing wrong but to call for the freedom of his people. And the last time I checked, a high court and an appeal court has set Nnamdi Kanu free, striking out the charges, saying that self-determination is not a crime in the Constitution of Nigeria. Inasmuch as there is no provision for secession or no provision for, referendum in the Constitution, there is still no law that criminalizing somebody looking for it in the first place. That is exactly Nigerian Constitution for you, of which they are always trying to misinterpret. So this is a time for sober reflection as Nnamdi Kanu heads to the court again on 23rd of October. We pray that God goes with him, because everything that happens in this life, God knows the past, the present, and the future. And like I said it today, mark my word, Nnamdi Kanu will walk free. So let's see you next video. Peace.